What's up, everybody? How you doing? So I wanted to come together with you guys tonight and answer a question that Jonathan Hughes asked in Michael and Nancy's. Get to that in just a second. Talking about they're polishing his copper piece colors. So we'll talk about some of, but there's something that I want to do, and Tiger and I talked about this. We're actually going to be doing a live stream on first, and then we're going to be doing stack collectors on the 5th. And we're going to be building on some of this stuff. So make sure that you're paying attention to what's happening at Tiger's line, to a lot of different things, how to set certain things up, why you should do certain things, preparing yourself for 26, being a smarter stacker. And yeah, no worries, bud. I love answering questions. So before I dig into that, I want to get to the question. The question that was asked was if you want or you like copper rounds, should you buy them? One of the concerns is you're worried about the premium not coming back. That's just like silver or gold. And it really depends on where you buy them. So for instance, if you get a coin or a copper round from a buddy of yours and you pay, $1 over what it would normally be because you want to support their channel, that's money well spent, right? Now, if I am buying, 7 tubes of something because I want just to stack some additional copper, I'm not going to go buy the high-end copper rounds that are $12 a piece when copper's at $5. That's just not smart. And we do see people do it all the time. So you have to ask yourself what's your intent. Number one, if your intent is because you like the piece and want to do, don't go crazy, but sure, pick it up. That's fine, no problem. But if you're looking to actually have it to amass some more metals, probably not a good idea. So, what's up, Jack? Ahoy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Stephanie, how are you? Goomba Gary, what's going on? Haven't seen you for a while, brother. Hope all is well. So I hope that made sense, Jonathan. I hope that really kind of gets. I think you're kind of on the same par with that. But when you're looking at stacking, when you're looking at collecting, when you're looking at anything, art or anything of that nature, it's about doing your due diligence. And what is your plan? What is your goal? Are you looking to offset your financial whatever? Then you might not want to buy those copper pieces. Are you trying to do it because you just like them? Do it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, good question. I appreciate it. So tonight, what I want to do is a lot of you guys know that I do process improvement. My job is to look at how things work and kind of see how things are rolling out and try to improve, try to increase the efficiency of. And every year, and you guys have heard me talk about this, I do an assessment of the channel. Now, I do an assessment of my channel, but I want your input because I like making videos. I like going live. I like putting out shorts. But I want you guys to have content that you want to see. In doing so, there's a couple things that happen. I change my focus. And sometimes in looking at certain variables or certain aspects, I run across things that I'm like, you know what, this would be really beneficial to the audience. So I'm going to go through, strange thing now, I have to wait to chat on this site now. You know what, I've heard somebody else say that in chat. What's up, Jack? Good to see you. Hey, Tiger. I tried to message you, but oh, Frank, I saw your email. I'll look at it in just a minute. Give me just a sec. Message me if you want to come up, Tiger. You can come up. We can do that. I've already mentioned that we're going to be doing another portion of this on the 1st and again on the 5th. You definitely want to pay attention. But as we're going through strategies, as I look at aspects of, hey, how do I be better? How do I get you guys the information you? How do we get you fun information? Check Stacker, $5 end of year. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you a bunch. Give that a like and a love. Say thank you, sir. I definitely appreciate you. All right. So let's go through this. Tiger Stacker. Frosty changes his focus. Asked him about goldbacks. Actually, I heard something today that made me feel a little bit better about goldbacks. Something about melting and anyway. Just kidding, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. But I wanted to stop and look at some of these things that we do every day. And I mean, these are things that anytime you go buy something, anybody in this chat has done this. And a lot of people don't apply it to coin collecting. A lot of people don't look at how can you make money. They don't look at making better decisions and how those decisions can impact some of those things. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to look at some of those items. We're going to look at some of those because as I go into coin shops, as I go to coin shows, and I don't go to very many, I notice something. And that is I see people looking at labels. I see people looking at the slab, but people not paying close attention and not asking questions about the coin. And it got me thinking, number one, if you go buy a car, really, you go buy a car, just a normal car, and you walk to that showroom, you walk down and you say, I want to see this kind of, and they bring it out, you're going to look at it pretty closely. You're going to test drive it. You're going to check the upholstery. You're going to check the mirrors and everything. And you're going to play everything. Basically, walk around it, kick the tires, make sure it's a good car. You're going to check for scratches on the paint. You're going to do your due diligence. Dropping a bunch of money. You want to make sure it's fine. But it's not only with cars. If I'm going to be buying or building a home, I'm going to walk through and do those final inspections. I'm going to hire somebody to walk through and evaluate the home if I'm buying. I'm going to pay somebody to review the property assessment and give me what is fair and equitable trade for the property I'm buying or selling. But we don't necessarily do that kind of research collecting coin. And we do, there's a lot of people who leave a lot of money on the table because they don't. Tiger Stacker, OG, send me the link. I'm sending the link. Hold on. Just a sec. Oh, it's going to make me do. Hold on. Just second. Find out where. Okay, gotcha. It's on its way. So, but again, I was thinking about this, and if you go through and you buy, and it doesn't matter if you buy a washing machine, or if you buy a house. Hey, what's up, dude? How are you? Nell says a tiger-free zone. You're going to do your due diligence, and I think it's important when you're looking at coins, when you're looking at silver and gold. You know, I hear people all the time, even those that have been in the hobby for a long time. They might own coin shops, they might be bullion dealers, and they're like, slabs are everything, or the CAC sticker's everything, or this is the coin you want to get, and they're like, oh, and they just make the purchase. And it's good to have friends that you can talk with. It's good to have friends that you can do that. But you should always look and get valuation. Figure out where that coin sits in the realm of things. You also need to know the coin. And by doing so, knowing how to grade a coin, knowing how to determine if something is a variety or an error or damage, talking with a number of people. That coin, what's up, bud? It's in the realm of things. Stuff in the background. You also need to know the coin. And by doing so, Tiger, knowing how to grade a coin, knowing how to you got determine if something is a variety or an error or damage. Okay, I'll just mute. There's going to be the things that you can catch if you're noticing that element, that piece of it, right? So if you're looking and you see, hey, there's some ding into it, there's some error, there's some issue, then you can say, well, this says it's a 65, but this is damaged. That little thing there is not on the base of the coin. It's actually goes over the rim. There's additional damage to the coin, and you might be able to save yourself a little bit of money. I've seen a couple people that send me pictures saying, look at this is an amazing error, and they're not. The other thing that's really important when you're buying slabs is authenticity. You need to make sure that your slabs are authentic. And so become familiar with them. So one thing that we're going to do more. Did you buy them? I'm still hearing you in the background, dude. Oh, you may have had to step away. Okay. One of the things I'm going to do on this channel in the upcoming year is looking at getting people on to talk about grading coin. Really looking at the surface of the coin. What should you see? What are the design elements? And actually breaking that. Because again, observation skills are critical. You have to see what other people might miss. And if you look very carefully, you'll see people that are really good at this. Like, and Tiger, I don't know if you're back on, but you can unmute yourself. We'll see if that thing in the background has gone away yet. He may have had to step away. But there's a number of things to look for. So this is one of those things that we're definitely focus on in the next year. I'm going to go ahead and read some chat here. Just a minute. No silver, no computer, no phone. Many manufacturers use silver in many different ways and products. Yeah, and again, when you're talking about silver and gold, so we'll kind of break into this. I'm sleepwatching. What's up, Michael and Nancy? Thanks for coming in. It was good hanging out with you. What's up, Neil? If you remember what the metal's for, what the hell was that music thing? Not sure. What music thing? Oh, the ring, ring, ding, ding. That was the membership. If it's too loud, let me know. And let me see. Oh, it's not showing me. I'll have to go see if I can find. Hold on. Find the alert box. Let me. Here. Okay, I turned that down. If that was really loud, then sorry about that. We'll get that to turn down. I have it up because I want to be able to hear it. Tiger, can you hear me yet? Take yourself off mute. He's here, but he's not here. I'm not sure. He probably had to step away. So yeah, but if you remember what the precious metals are for, again, gold, more money-based. These are items. He might have had to step away. I'm not in Cali. But gold is more monetary. It's more financial. Whereas silver and platinum palladium are all kind of investment metals. They are industry metals, and they have very specific use. And if you remember those, then you can help determine which way you want to invest in those elements, because you shouldn't invest silver and gold or silver and platinum and palladium the same way. It's a little bit different. It functions a little. But I'm going to remove him from the stage, and he'll come back up here in a second when he comes back from whatever he's doing, if he's having technical issues. And again, folks, I said this in chat. I only need 173 subs. 7,000. Hear me out. Let's get there. I would love to get there before the end of the new. So let's go ahead. Let's go over a couple things real quick when it comes to. Actually, I got one more question to do. Good to see you. I don't buy coins off of eBay because I know it's fake or real. I don't have a lot of experience. That's a great answer. Narciso Leon, thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. This is one of the reasons that I want to be a good steward and actually teach you some of the things to look for. Now, you have to do your due diligence. There are things about selling a coin online that the sellers know, and you have to be aware of it. Lighting matters. The position of the coin matters. How long they have it on the screen matters. This is why I don't do whatnot. I will not do whatnot. Simply from the fact that Will subscribe. Thank you so much, Will B. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the subscription. eBay at least gives you time to look, time to interact, time to chat, and the opportunity to ask some questions. One of the things about eBay is we have people in my community who come on my panel quite frequently. And I don't know if Tiger's listening or not, but you can come back up. Come back in. We'll put you back. Let me see if I'm going to have to adjust something. Let's take big. I don't know if Tiger's listening or not. I still hear you in the background, dude. Come back in. We'll put you back in. Are you there? I'm going to have to adjust. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I hear you in the background. Yes. You got to mute your.
I have no
YouTube.
idea how that's happening.
You mute your YouTube.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes. You got to mute your.
I have no idea how that's happening.
Mute your. Stacy and AT just subscribe. Oh, remember. Outstanding. Thank you.
No, I can't hear anything.
What do you mean you can't hear anything?
I cannot hear a thing.
Check your speaker.
That is really weird.
Go to the gear. Come to audio. And make sure that you have your sound stuff turned on. Okay, cool. Well, he just answered me, but he has his headphones in and he's listening through. So I don't even know if my headphones are on.
I can't hear a thing.
All right, let's try that. Tell me if that's any better for you. All right. Well, while you do that, when you come on, give me some sort of thumbs up or put something in chat. Let me know that you're back on and working. Let's go ahead and dig into the next item. that we were talking about, and that is understanding the difference between intrinsic value and numismatic value, that financial literacy. And this is something that
Wow.
when we do work, can you hear me, Tiger? So, um, when when you're looking at um, trying to understand how much your money's worth, you need to understand the difference between things like, the buy, the sell price. A lot of people will look at silver and say, oh, it's 75.30. It's like, well, you're looking at the wrong one. You can't necessarily look at the higher one you ask because that's the asking price. So if you were to buy it, that's what the person's asking for. The bid price is what you would put up, which is usually less. And you're saying, I will ask for this. So you have to know which one to look at when you're looking at silver price. Are you looking for your ask or are you looking for? You also want to know what the premiums on a particular element or item are. Any luck yet?
Nothing.
Can you hear me through YouTube? He's the second person to have this happen to him. Hold on. You guys can hear him when he chats. You can hear him like typing and doing stuff. You guys are getting the feedback,
I can hear you through YouTube. I can
but
hear
you
you
can't
through
hear me through
YouTube,
here.
usually at a delay from what I'm seeing on StreamYard. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. No, I guarantee you he has earphones in so that it doesn't get the other stuff. But he's got an 8 to 10 second delay. That's going to be very tough to have a conversation with.
Okay, there's no echo?
No, try try leaving and coming back and see if that fixes your sound. Because a 10 second delay is going to be for a not conducive.
You're right, it's about an 8 to 10 second delay.
Yeah, 8 to 10 second delay 20 seconds ago.
All right.
So try going out, coming back
Okay,
in. Okay.
leaving.
Oh, it's a good thing that he's not an IT technician. No, I've heard a lot of people. Yeah, it's a pretty good delay. It's normal. This is something that happens. You can turn it to ultra low, but it just causes problems. All right, let's go back to this. He'll come back up in a minute. All right. How about now? Can you hear me?
I hear you. I'm probably still at a delay.
All right.
You
Let's
did
see.
this to me on purpose, didn't you?
No, no. This is all you, brother. Have you checked your speakers to see if your speakers are off? Or if they're over, put your headphones into your computer, put them in the other jack. He's gonna be like, this isn't funny.
I put the headset in so the speakers are not operational. I only have one jack in the phone, computer. No, it's not funny.
All right. Well, you're 10 to 15 seconds behind me talking. It's not going to be conducive to
I'm gonna
conversation.
reset my computer.
Okay, dude. I'll see you in a minute. All right. Hopefully he gets this worked out. Now, there's somebody else that had a problem the other day on the stream. Totally different app. So if it is me, I've got an issue and I've got to figure out what's. But it shouldn't be me because you guys can hear. I can hear him. And him and I talked not too long ago, so I know we can hear. All right, so let's go back through this. Sorry for the deviation, but let's go back through this. Again, when you're looking at, understanding the track, the spread, you want to make sure that they understand the difference. Now, you go into a coin shop and you say, "Hey, I'm looking for this. I want to sell this silver gold." They're not going to take the information that was spot yesterday. They're going to get online. They're going to look and see what spot is. They're going to see how it's changed. They're going to make an assessment based off that information and purchase it. Now, most of us do this already, right? We're going to look at this. It doesn't matter if you're, going to the grocery store or whatnot. You're going to look at the price. You may go there every day. You don't look at the price every day, but you may look for certain things and you'll start to determine what's a good deal and find those places that are good deals. And one of the things that I want you guys to start asking is, am I buying the coin or the utility, meaning the silver or the gold or the platinum? Or am I buying the coin for the mint mark, the variety, the error, the brand? Because they apply to different groups, they apply to different settings. And you have to know what your strategy is. Just like Jonathan earlier was asking about the copper coins or the copper rounds. If you're doing it for stacking purposes, then I wouldn't suggest you to do that. Just like if you're going to buy a coin and you're trying to buy it as an investment, but it's like a 1972p, right? And you want to spend 80 bucks on it. It's not a coin. Number two, it's zinc. It's not a coin that I would buy for investment purposes. Now, if you're going to say something like, I'm going to spend a couple grand on a AG 1795 flowing hair dollar, that's something that carries more numismatic value. It's going to hold its value a little bit better. They're not likely to discover a giant hoard of them. So it depends on what your strategy is, on what the answer would be. So we're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk about looking at some of those things. What are good buys? We'll reach out to some of our friends in the coin shops. We'll reach out to some of the dealers and investors that we work with, and we'll be asking those questions. Again, it's really important for you to know, is this something that will hold its value? And it happens again, not just with stacking and collecting, but in all facets of life. These are all things that you should ask yourself when you're doing any kind of big money purchase. What I do, okay, this is number 3. And we're going to take a little bit of time here because this is the area I like. I like to do what I like to do. And as I told you earlier, I enjoy making the videos. I enjoy doing lives, but I like telling stories. So what I'm going to start doing more often, you've probably seen this in the last 4 or 5 weeks as we've talked about the mints. If you haven't done that, go check it out. Saturday, Sunday live streams. Where on Saturday, I'm going to be telling more stories. I'm going to be talking more about the history. Maybe it's the U.S. Mint. Maybe it's a specific coin. Maybe it's a train robbery. Maybe it's a mint theft. Maybe we're going to be talking about errors and varieties. Maybe we're going to be talking about actually finding gems in your pocket chain, what that means, and look at the relevance of finding something. dispelling some of the common myths. So we'll do that kind of stuff on Sundays. Whereas Saturday is going to be more about the creative, the interesting, the reason behind why I might look at a random 1883, no sense, and go, that's cool. What was it about that coin that sparked that interest in me? Well, for those of you who know what an 1883 is, no V, or it's a V, but no cents. How does that tie into this? Test number two.
He's doing this to me on purpose.
It's not me. I have no control over your audio on your computer. Echo cancellation is on. I'm volume.
Wow, I'm still delaying.
Is that any better for you?
Huh. I just heard you on StreamYard.
Is that any better for you?
Yeah, I hear you on StreamYard now.
Okay, so maybe it's a
I'm
voice mod thing.
I have no idea what that even means.
It's part of the app I do. Remember when I changed my voice?
Oh, okay.
So you
Well, I
may
hear
not be
you on
able.
StreamYard now, and I muted YouTube.
Well, cool, good. Now I figured out what was going on. That might have been the issue that I had the other day.
So that wasn't me then. You did do it to me.
No, it was you. I just had to fix it on your end. I had to reach into your computer and change it.
Liar.
Oh, what's going on, bud?
Oh, not much. I was laser focused on editing a video, one that I did a live stream on this last weekend. So I was laser focused on that and saw your message, then saw you on. So I decided to take a break because I needed a break after that long of duration of editing. That can take a lot out of a person.
Oh, if you've never edited a video before, it is a chore. It's a lot of work, especially if you're doing. I know. Al. I almost had him. It was no. If I wouldn't have, I would have had to. Oh no, it wasn't me. I can't even hold the straight face. Hey, what's going on, Otis? Good to
Don't
see
give him
you.
any ideas, Al. He gets enough of them on his own. No, 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 not for today. Not today.
I like to do that to him too. When we're just normally talking, I'll be like, "Can you?"
You got the wife a couple of times that way too. Says, "What's wrong with your computer?" Like, I don't know. And then you start laughing. So, no, this wasn't the computer. He's just being himself.
Oh, hey guys, I love that. I love to just. It's good, especially after a couple very hard days at work. So let me wrap this up real quick, Tiger, and we'll get to the next one because your timing is actually because I want to show them about going to coin shows, going to coin shows. We'll talk a little bit about that, a touch of it, because again, we're going to go deeper, but we're going to talk about how to protect yourself when you're doing stuff like this. This will be a great precursor into our 1st of January stream, 5th of January.
Okay.
So the one thing that I'm talking about is provenance. It's the story. Um, the red book, and I have the red book, which is here somewhere. Oh, it's over on that. Gives you information about a coin. Okay? It gives you information about something. And you can look at and find out how many of something. I wouldn't use the red book for value per se. I would just say, if you want to understand the basics of a coin, the red book will do that for you. But what the red book doesn't do is it doesn't tell you the story. It doesn't tell you that 1883 no sense V nickel was actually created it actually created an amazing story. And the story is that of the racketeer nickel. If you don't know the racketeer nickel was, there's a couple of different stories, but the primary one is there was a man who was blind who never told anybody incorrect information. He basically plated it in gold, and if he was buying a cigar, which was 2 cents, he would give them this 5-cent piece. And on many occasions, they would give him back change, $4.98. If somebody confronted him with it, I was like, well, I just presented it as a nickel. I didn't say it was worth any more. Somebody must have colored it. But he actually did this to a number of shops. And the one thing that really did come back to him was that he never did. He never presented this as something other than it was, technically making it illegal. Now, obviously, they recognized that they had a problem, and they put the cents on the V-nickel following that. So in 1883, if you have a V-nickel, it probably has no cents. So now every time you see an 1883, you're going to remember the racketeer nickel. DGSMMA, I own a certified. That is badass. See, now that is a story in and of itself. Because this is why I collect. This is why I do the channel, is to tell these stories. And I learn more about the story than I probably ever will know about the coin. Because that's the part of numismatics that interests me. This is the history of our nation, the coin. I mean, I keep this here, 1924 peace dollar. And if I say 1924, anybody that's been over to Michael and Nancy's knows that there's a train robbery that I talk about. Hudson Brothers, or the Hudson Brothers? Hudson Brothers. I'm crossing my stories up. Anyway, they were the gentleman bandits, the original gentleman bandits. And they would go on, they would charm the ladies and talk to them very nice. Very rarely did they have to get violent. They were quite talked about after their events. And they made quite a name for themselves. They carried a whole bunch of stuff. But again, this is just, whenever I look at one, I have the story in my head. It's a wonderful conversation piece. And it's a great way to communicate. But the other thing is, when we talk about knowing the provenance and knowing the thing about coins, we're also friends and family. Now, Tiger and I have talked a lot about this in the last couple of days. There's been a number of different events that have occurred. I stuck my foot in my mouth. Actually, I stuck my email in my mouth is what I did. And Tiger and I had a couple conversations. But there's something in this community that's extremely important. And that is the friendships that are cultivated here. There are a lot of people who I am very close friends with that I never would have met outside of this hobby, that I never would have been able to meet without social media, without some sort of connection being there. And it's that connection to YouTube and the interest of coins that has helped me cultivate friendships with my buddy Tiger, where we talk about numismatics, but we talk about all facets of it. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. And we're going to bring a lot of community stuff into this. We're going to do some community events in 2026. I have a massive event planned that's going to take a few months, and it's going to require, if you want to win it, it's going to cause you to look for it. And so I will be somewhere online through clues. We'll give everybody, and I mean everybody who subscribes to the channel, an gold. And all you got to do is watch videos. But there's going to be certain things that have to be done in each video. And those people who follow it will have the opportunity to do this. So I'm going to do this, number one, for engagement. It's something that's going to be dropped. I'll talk about it probably around April or May. We'll run it during the summer months when people have the opportunity to be out and doing things and seeing things and taking pictures or videos, perhaps. And talking about stories, because stories are what connect us. It's what keeps us intertwined. It's what brings us together as a people. And our stories matter. But the stories about coins and silver and stuff like that, they're important. But how people came up to it, how people got into the hobby, the stories behind why we're here. Um, and I mean, here is in YouTube land, not here is in the philosophical why am I. But a lot of those questions can be asked. So we're going to be talking a lot about providence. We're going to talk a lot about the stories, and you're going to see that. I don't know it's going to be every Saturday, because some Saturdays and Sundays are just going to be run with it. We don't have a plan. We're just going to go, and they can be a lot of fun. So we'll see. But with that, Tiger,
Yes.
we talked about our spreadsheet. We're going to be talking about this on Stack Elect, and we're going to be talking about this when we go live on the 1st. What is the bottom line reason for your spreadsheet?
Basically, wait, making sure I know what I've got, but more importantly, I have a wife that very minimally pays attention to precious metals, and ever since 2022, I started making a death letter to coincide with my spreadsheet so that she can have a clue how to liquidate if she needs to after my demise. Certainly did that long before I ever found out about the cancer. And the reason for that is basically the mark of a good husband and a good father is to prepare his family for his ultimate demise. So, trying to make sure that she knows what to do. The spreadsheet was developed, and when I realized that she was not paying me any mind, that's when I started writing the death letter. Now I'm on version number 8, thinking about version number 9 because I realized there's some more information that needs to be put in there that never
Yep.
came to my knowledge until she and I actually talked about it for the first time. Um, she wanted to know other things. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to make a new one. Um, and I told her to read the letter for the first time and write in the margins for things that she wanted that I might have forgotten. But the spreadsheet is mainly for her to know what she's got, weight wise, item wise. Um, I did not being that much into numismatics and all the varieties and the VAMs and the errors and all that. Um, I mainly did mine on the purpose of stacking for a non-collector myself, to let myself know what I got because sometimes people forget, myself too. I mean, you and I did a trade where you sent me two Liberty heads, $2.50 for a one classic head, $5, and um, I looked at my spreadsheet and I saw I had a $5 classic head and $2.50 classic head, and thought maybe I made an error until I found the additional $2.50 classic head and realized I need to trust myself more because if I put it in the spreadsheet, it's there for me for later, but
Yep.
it's also there for her. And I want to make sure that she knows what she's got available, and the death letter tells her things such as, if you don't know what you got, call Frosty or call these other people. Here's the contact information, and that whole thing. Um, so you know, um,
Folks, if
that's
you're
my part.
hearing this and you've never heard this before, subscribe to mine and Tiger's channel. We're going to be talking about this. For those of you who don't know what Stack Collector is, most of you folks in here know what that is. Stack Collector is a junction of Frostbyte coins and Tiger Stacker, where we come together, talk about precious metals, numismatics, and we talk about all sorts of different things. Why do we do this? It's just to help the community. So we don't charge anything for this. We don't work in coin shops. We're not bullion dealers. We don't sell through this program. It's just information, sharing information, getting people to talk, collaboration, right? Really getting community engaged. That's the entire purpose behind Stack Collector. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it 1,000 more. Tiger's spreadsheet is something that if you are serious about stacking, if you are serious about making sure that you have good, solid strategies, and you want to know what you have, then you want to pay attention to what he's doing and how. On my end, it's slightly different. I actually lost all my stuff and had to start rebuilding it again. The one I'm going to show you is not a real one, but I want to bring this up because what I want you to do, I don't want you to look at the complexity of it. Okay? That's not where I'm going with it. What I want you to do is I want you to think about this. I'm going to frame this in a very specific light. I know it's very small. We'll be getting to it here in a moment. And all of these are not my coins. This is just a mock spreadsheet. This is the same structure, but I'll give this to you if you want one. Let me know. I'll throw it on my community page and you can have it. I can leave the items in here, the coins, just take out the mintages and all this other stuff. But all the dates, not every single coin clearly is here, but there's a really good start for you, something that you can add. If you want to add a Barber dollar, you just insert a space, copy this down, and then you put in your information. How many you got? What's the thing? What's the grade? What's the year? Is it numismatic? What's the makeup of the coin? Obviously, it's going to be silver. And then you can see what's going on. What I want to show you is here. This is the most important part of my spreadsheet. And this is number 4 in my 5 things we're going to discuss today. And that is how many of you, by putting a 1 in chat, have went to a coin shop or a coin show, spent a bunch of money, only to get home and find out that you purchased the wrong coin. You purchased something you already had. I've done it more than I care to remember. Okay. But what's important when you're looking at doing something like this, and again, this is pretty complex. It doesn't have to be as complex as this. But I can look at the various kinds of denominations. So I can come up here and choose whatever it is I want to do. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And if I want to look at everything that is 25 cents, oh no, let's do something fun. Let's do 20-cent pieces and half times, okay? So these are the things that I want to look at. I'm going to go to a shop. I'm going to go to a coin shop. I'm going to go to a coin show. And I need to know, what am I looking for? If I have my inventory document, then I can come over here and choose the items I want to look for, and it will give me all the information. So I can come up here and I say, well, I have 5 of these straight bust dimes, 1800. Let's see what's going on here. I got 1800. I got 6 of them. They're all 66 plus. Okay. Now here's the thing. If I'm looking for an upgrade, I know I don't need to buy a 66 plus. I know I need to be looking for a 67. If I want to be looking, and again, these are not real. I don't own all these coins, just to show you how you can utilize a tool. If I want to go check out the no stars, again, I can look at this and see that I have an 1837 and MS67. I don't want to go spend $5,000 and buy another 67 when I need a 67 plus or a 68. And if you have PH Ringer, what's up? Thanks for subscribing. I thought you were a subscriber a long time ago, but apparently you fell off. That happens. If that happens, it's probably because you haven't commented or said anything on a video for a while. So make sure you leave a comment and hit the thumbs up. Those two things usually help alleviate that. But again, this is going to help you kind of look through and find, and you can change them. It doesn't matter what you want to look at. If I want to look at the $50 gold coins or the platinum coins, then I'm coming here. I've got two of them. They're maple leafs. These are platinum. Now, how would I know that? I don't have the platinum here. Well, I know I have two platinum coins. They're $50, so I happen to know that these are the two platinum maple. The other coin that's not listed here is the platinum silver eagle, or the platinum eagle.
You forgot
So
the platinum chip coin.
I don't have the platinum chip coin yet. But so here's the thing. Again, you can figure out what it is. Oh, and I know why. It's because I have 150 cents and 150. All right. So here are all the other half dollars. Okay. So I want to look at the half dollars. I'd be able to go down here and say, okay, I'm working on my Franklin half dollar set. Why is my platinum eagle? Okay. I want to go look at my thing. I got 54. I got 8 MS67s. So I know if I want to upgrade my 1964 Kennedy, I need to be looking for something greater than an MS60. Now, how does this help you if you're at a coin shop? Well, let me show you something. You're going to see me, right? Hold on. Oops, what happened? Oh, that's not what I... There we go. Phone, picture, take it with you to the coin show. Right? And so it's one of those things where if you know what you have and you track it. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Frosty, I don't want to do this for my entire collection. I've been collecting for 20 years. I don't want to go through all of this. I don't want to deal with this. That's fine. What if you're collecting a peace dollar book? What if you're collecting coins for a penny book? What if you're collecting coins for something else? Well, whatever that other element might be, whoops, whatever that other element might be, you need to make sure that you are tracking those coins. Because again, you want to do upgrades, you want to trade it in. You do not want to spend $250, $300, $400, $500 and get home to find out that you purchased the same coin that you have in your book. So these things will help you. And you can start small. Start with a single book. Start with something that is, it's easy. It's not hard to, oops. It's easy. It's not hard to track. It's not hard to enter. But put something like that into process or into practice. There are apps that you can use. You can do apps if you have graded coins through BCGS or NGC. You can join part of registries. But again, it's important that you're tracking what it is that you have so that when you go to these coin shows and go to these places, you know what you're getting. Now, if CheckStacker's still here, CheckStacker and I met the other day at a coin show. We actually went to a coin show, met up. My daughter went. We walked around for a little while. And I told him, I am looking for one coin. Here's the date. This is what it is. I didn't come there for anything else. I bought one thing because I talked to a dealer for 30 minutes. So just out of courtesy, I bought something from them. Oh man, yeah, I have Emerald Coast. I bought a 65 thinking that's what I needed. I got home and my coin was a 67. I spent $300 on a coin and I downgraded. So now I got to figure out how to sell that coin. So what I want people to do is start small. Tiger talked about paper. We'll talk about that when you're looking at how to track the sheet, some of the other options, because technology lets you down. Phones crash, computers crash. So I wanted to talk about this because I wanted to plug the first for Tiger Stacker and myself and the fifth when we talk about these things a little bit more in depth. These are definite things that you're going to want to be there. We're going to talk very specifically about our intents, why this happens, and why doing this makes you, my Tigers, in my opinion. Tell me if I say this just for you, or this is what you feel as well. It helps me feel like I'm being a better provider, because when my wife looks at my list, she can take that list, print it out, take it to the coin shop and say, "This is my husband's collection." There's no question about what is there. They know the grade, they know the year, they know the number. They can make a very good assessment of my collection very, very. If I have my stuff and something happens, and again, when I don't have all my coins on site. I never keep all my stuff on site. So the stuff that I have on site, do I keep it on a list? I keep when I track certain things, when stuff comes in, when stuff goes out, so that if anything was to ever happen to the house, I would know what was there. Now it's a little excessive, but if you want to make sure and things are covered and do due diligence, then you want to make sure you do some of those things. We're going to be talking about the strategies and why you should do. So again, you really want to be a part of that. I don't know if you've been watching chat, but you seen anything interesting in there?
I've been watching chat, but I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Just in general, I'm just asking you.
Let's
Let's
see.
see. It seems like every year ends on a crappy note. I think you only get way to start. So Shroom Day, it's all a matter of perspective, right? Things always happen, but you notice them at the end of the year
Yeah,
because it's the end of
some
the
truth
year.
there.
You're hyper focused on it, but things happen at all times. So don't get stuck into it being an end of the year thing, because when you think and speak something into yourself, you'll do what they call self manifestation, and you'll create that environment. So be careful doing that.
Basically, you got to start loving on yourself, even though sometimes it's a little hard. Um, and
Loving yourself, not it.
you
Loving yourself.
but basically, you know, um, you're not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect, and we're not expected to be perfect, but we are expected to recognize our shortcomings and try to work on them to make the weaknesses strong, and to keep the strengths that we already have, and not ignore them so they become weaknesses later. So, do the best you can, and if you're doing better than you were, don't beat on yourself. It's not necessary. We're all good at it, myself included. My wife had told me that she's never seen a guy that will get focused on a goal and keep going until he attains it. And I needed to hear that, because it was during one of my lulls. And you know, look at the stuff that you have accomplished, and quit focusing only on the negative. You know, it will give you some positive energy to start working on the next goal that you haven't attained yet.
Hey, Will
So,
B, thanks for coming in and subscribing. Appreciate you stopping in. Come back and check us out anytime, right? Leave a comment. If there's something you want to learn about, ask and we'll create it. So thanks for being here, Will B.
yeah, and just be careful, Will be, because if he freezes on you, he might be playing with you, dude.
So Flag City, Frosty, is there a way to add a slab barcode to that spreadsheet or pictures of the coins you sell? Absolutely. Matter of fact, let's do that. So when I come over to my inventory, all I have to do, and I have melt value and stuff like that. This is actually, I want to try to figure out how to tie this directly to the spot price. The problem is if I do that, it'll break when I upload it. You download it, that link won't work anymore. So I've got to figure out how to teach people to do that. So I've got to figure through that. But I can also add instead of price realized, which is important when you're selling, just because that's somebody's value or worth doesn't mean that's what you're going to get for it. So when you talk about the worth of something, you talk about price realized. But if I come over here and I type in the URL or the link, then what I can actually do is, and I will do this really quickly. Let me pull up PCG verify. Let's pull this one up. Pull that one up. Do this one. Michael and Nancy have fallen asleep, or he would know exactly what. Okay,
You might be drinking that hot cocoa.
maybe. So you can plug your number in directly. Okay. So in this particular case, I'll open this up really quickly. Sorry, it's spinning. Taking me just a moment. So here is 1866 $5 model. And I pull this information up. You look at the coin, Heritage Auction. It's a $40,000 coin. You go check the prices at and top notch, whatever. So you can do one of two things. You could either put the URL of the coin that talks about that specific coin, or you could also do this number. And so this is not the number that I plugged. I think I need to add a different number. I need to get to verify, but it is being a royal pain in the tuchus. Okay, so here's the number. Let me clear this out. Okay, so now I have this in here. So what'll actually happen is if I click on this item, then it'll actually bring up and generate that coin for me. So you absolutely can do that. This will show you the coin. This will show you what's here. It'll tell you the year. Obviously, you can look at the coin, see that particular coin, and you can see the various elements with it. We scroll down. This is the dimple. This is really nice. But you scroll down, you can get a feel for prices and things of that nature. This is a really good way to help people who are trying to identify how to build a list to help them understand the value and the worth of things. Now, putting the slab number there is important. So, you know, for instance, if I wanted to put the slab 7140, which is the coin number, that's the Morgan dollar, and then 65 would be that secondary number. Then you'll see that 1882S, but then you won't see that MS68 plus coin that I showed you just ago. You'll see an MS65 in an old green holder. And so, yeah, absolutely. You can break down exactly what's there, add that information, and then, you know, put that in this list. Now, here's the problem with doing URLs. The problem with doing URLs is that if you do a URL, there isn't a link if you print it out. Okay, so this URL, you may not want to show the URL like that. You may want to copy the hyperlink that's here. Okay, and paste it that way. That way they can actually type in the URL. They can actually go to the URL. If it's on paper, they can actually open up the website, type in pcgs.com, CoinFacts coin, and then type in this information and it will generate that URL for them. If you're going to do that, this is how I suggest you do that. That's a wonderful question. And you can make these as simple. I know that Greg says, I've been collecting for a long time. There's no way to do this. It would take too much time. Do it with a single book. If you have a book that you've collected, enter the book in, enter the item number of the book and type complete. That way the person knows they have this book and it's complete. It has every coin in it. Now, they have to make an assumption on what the grade is, right? So you're going to have to make an assumption of what that grade is. But again, you're still going to have the capability to look at that. It's going to be there. It's going to be in front of you. And so these are really important things when you're going to a coin show or when you're going to a coin shop, to make sure they understand this. And then again, like I said, on the 1st and on the 5th, we're going to break this down even farther. So great question, Flag City. Beautiful. I said that because, for instance, if your house gets destroyed by act of God, you have other way to show your insurance. Fact. There's something else, and this is the last one that we're going to talk about. Tiger and I have talked about this a couple times, but I plan on talking about this about 4 or 5 times in the coming year. Shipping. A lot
You
of
like
people,
ships?
a lot of people make mistakes shipping, and I get a few packages, not a lot, but I get a number of packages from, and I can count very quickly the mistakes that people make, and they're like the same 5 or 6 mistakes. Number one, they add coins or bullion or rounds or medals to their name. Don't do that. When they're doing a package and they want to type in who it's going to, they'll send it to Frostbyte Coins. If you look at my name, it's Frostbyte CNC. CNC could be a machine part. CNC could be something else. It could be, who knows? What I don't want people entering chat right now is the names that bullion businesses choose, because that just tells people what they are. So be smart about naming. So we're going to talk a lot about the things that you should do. We're also going to talk about, I have one here out for you. Figure out that thing. I've talked about this and some of the potential problems with putting their slabs inside containers, and the fact that this coin, even in a container, can be scanned by a phone. There are certain things you want to do. If you're shipping a coin like this, there are certain things you absolutely want to do. If you haven't seen this video, go look at the one with the little RFID tag on it. That is an absolute must video. If you see no other coin videos from me in the coming year, go watch that one. Because if you have PCGS coins that have that, there's a likelihood that, especially with an expensive coin, that somebody could just tap and scan your package, know what it is, and admit it. So be careful about that. But shipping is going to be that other thing. And so I really want to make sure that people are smart about it. There's a lot of myths regarding shipping. And again, folks, if you're here and you've never been here, you like the conversation, subscribe. I'm only 165 away from 7,000. We can do this. Easy peasy. No worries. But I need your support to do that. So again, if you would be so kind, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Come follow the channel. We try to provide good information. Hopefully you find it beneficial.
I got a couple of the errors that we've talked about, one of which I did. Not enough tape around the shipping. Fortunately, I
Oregon
had
Stacker does not have that problem.
it.
I think
I
he's got
I
stock in 3M.
Yeah, me too, me too. We lost something that I had bought for you, shipped to you. Fortunately, I had it insured, and got it taken care of. There was that one. Then there is the ultimate sad but yet humorous error. Whatever you do on the packaging, do not type in the word hazmat.
Yeah. So that is a hilarious story. I need to actually break that out one time. Actually, that'll be a story for the upcoming. Might be a it might be a good weekend. Welcome to the new year story. Um, 9 months to get a package. 9 months because I had to go through quarantine and everything else. Yeah, ask OC and Surfer about that one. That was fun. By the
Oh,
way, had somebody just text me say, "You're drinking a beer online." This is ginger beer, not a sponsor, alcohol free. I love the spicy ones. If you guys like ginger beer, not a
I didn't know
sponsor. It's just
ginger came as a beer.
say again.
I didn't know ginger beer was a thing.
Yeah, oh, it's amazing stuff. This is spicy, so it's got a little bit of a bite to it. They're really good, but they're good on the throat when you're talking a lot. All right, let's go check out some of these questions. Um, Water Rudy. I've been stacking very reasonably priced ounces in the last, so it feels like this is a treat. Don't feel like buying a whole bunch of. Yeah, Tiger and I talked about that today. What our ideas and where we think it's going to go. Um, Stay with your strategy. That's all you can do. There's a lot of people that are going to say it's going up. There's a lot of people that say it's going down. I have my reasons for believing what I believe. However, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean that that's how it's going to unfold. I've talked about manipulation in the past. We talked about the history of J.P. Morgan and the $940 million in fines that they had to pay. They were happy to pay it. They made trillions of dollars. And so, what happens if they jump back into this game? So, you're going to hear a lot of rhetoric from people. You're going to hear a lot of discussions from people. Stick to the experts, the true experts, not the I'm live, so now I'm an expert type people. But do your own due diligence. Um, Tiger and I have talked a lot. What's when I talk about buying stock? Know the financials, know where they're at, know what's happening, know where the exchanges that you're dealing with are at. Do your research, just with coins. Do your research before you buy any metals. Make a decision, decide what you want to do, and move forward. Vincent, fair point on a scale of 1 to 10. So I missed Vincent's. Let me go find it. Or Emerald Coast. Hold on. Congrats on nearing 7K, Frosty. You're a natural. Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. That's where Vincent says on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm definitely a 9 on the scale of confidence. Frosty's doing great work with the newbies. I'm a counterbalance. So Vincent and I have had a lot of conversations. Shared with me information, told me why he did and didn't agree. I have appreciated that tremendously because it helps me to vector my discussion. And sometimes I believe I have more information than I do. And this happens to all of us. Matter of fact, this last Sunday, I had to swallow a pretty hard pill because I was looking at a coin, deemed it to be questionably authentic, didn't get the coin. Come to find out, it was a very rare. I should have chased this coin. And when I went back to find it, it was gone because I didn't know enough about it. So I'm going to start studying some American Silver Eagles. So again, these are things where I have no problem admitting I've made a mistake. I have no problem admitting I don't know everything. But one thing that I do that's extremely important, Tiger does this as well. This is a trait him and I have together. I think it's why we're such good friends, is our community of people that we surround ourselves with. There's a lot of amazing people in the hobby. And it's a lot of fun to just sit down and say, pour into me, teach me, because they'll do it. So I think that one reason the channel has been successful is because of all of you, the engagement, the participation, the sharing, um, the panelists, amazing people, just a lot of fun. So I appreciate that, Vincent, but I appreciate you too, brother. And you, Tiger. We talked about that.
I appreciate you appreciating.
So let's see. My coin books are not going to make me rich, but it's the fun kind of, exactly, right? It's the fun. This is a hobby. Remember that. If you think we're going to change the world being stackers, we are the flies. We are the gnat's ass on the world silver market. You throw every major stacker together, we ain't going to make a dent. And
But
so,
there's a component to this. We might be, the small people, the nobodies to the rest of the financial world. But in our own home, in our own castle, we are the king that's protecting our family. So keep
okay,
that in mind.
yes, but we were talking about something totally different.
Oh, I understand. I just
Yeah.
want people to not stop what they're doing because they're protecting themselves and their family, even though we're just a very small portion of what's out there.
Yeah, I get you. Let's hey, what's up, AA? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thank you all for being here. Let's see, doing fantastic, Frosty. Learning a lot of things that I never knew. Thanks, Frank. I did get your email. I need to pull that up. You sent me something. Let me look at it. Oh, I can't watch a video live. And I still didn't get the video. Probably there'll be something else. Maybe I need to reply to it. Nope, the video still didn't come through. Resend that, Frank, and I'll follow up. Namaste. What's going on? Long time no see. How you been? Hope all is well. Good to see you over here. I hope everybody's having a good year. How was everybody's 2025? I hope everybody had a decent.
It's been interesting. It's been a roller coaster ride.
It's been a roller coaster for you, absolutely. You got a few things to contend with this year that are, let's say, massive.
Hmm. Most certainly,
Indeed.
but it's a good education for other people. I've tried to turn my lemons into everyone else's lemonade.
Hey, when God gives you lemons,
Make lemonade and share it.
have you ever seen that movie where the guy was like, no? What you do is you take out an ad, you make it, these were the most amazing lemons ever. And then you've never seen that? I'll have to find that
No.
and send that to you. He talks about, no, you have to tell them how great it is. And then you have to, do some sort of genetic testing. And then you plant the seeds on a farm and then you sue the farmers and then you make billions and millions of dollars. And only then you make lemonade. Right? See, he talks about all the strategies that people forget about. They go straight to the lemon. Forgetting that there's a whole nother Mad Men. There you go. Phenomenal. It is a lesson in thinking. Like, wow, that is so crazy. But yeah, there's it's a wicked way of thinking about things. It's dark, but really cool. AA, what did AA say?
Let's see.
I've learned from Frosty, from Tiger, from Coin Crew, from Seeker, from Yankee. There's a lot of people in the community who put a lot of information into the metals or the numismatics. So lots of great channels out there. Say who's there? I miss it. I tend to avoid channels that take themselves too seriously. Well, have fun. Enjoy yourself here. I don't think you'll have a problem. Jack Gallman, did I see your question? Only that one. Just a sec. Let me get up there. and see, where is it? Do they have an app that I can download for a spreadsheet? Oh, yes, they do actually. Sorry, I missed that. Um, they have one for Android and they have one for um, Apple, so you can use either or, and then you can download that and use it. One, you can also put it on Google Sheets. So I might put it on my Google Sheets and then share it with everybody, and then everybody can just utilize it through Google Sheets. So that might be the way I do this, because then I can maintain um, ownership of the template and make changes as need be as people find bugs or want certain things added, so I can help maintain it. Then they just download it, make it their own. So yeah, there's a number of ways to do that. Yeah, L, I like Mad Men, especially how they dressed at that time. Yeah, great show. But that lesson, I love that lesson. If you haven't heard that before, you got to go listen to it.
That's a movie?
It is. Yeah, it's a great one. So what else do you guys want to chat about? This is open. We're live. We're just doing our thing. Whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys have coin questions, let's talk coins. Hey, Cadroll Hunter, what's up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I don't have um anything. Nope, it's not. I'm gonna show some, but I don't have it with me. Oh well. You know what we need to do? I need to give something away. We should give something away. What should I give away, Tiger?
Oh, I have no idea. How many stickers and poker chips and um, magnets and stuff like that that you have?
Oh, two. Um, it's time to reload. I need to order more. I think I have like 2 dozen poker chips. L says, "What is your and Tiger's New Year's resolution?" Good question, Tiger. I'll defer to you.
uh, Pretty much just keep on doing what I'm doing. I don't know if you can call this a resolution or not, but I keep telling my wife, who worries about, um, what I've got, the cancer, and she'll look at me and say, "Promise me you're not going to die of me," which I keep telling her I can't give her a promise that I can't keep. That's in God's hands. What I can promise is that I'm going to fight like crazy to stay with you, and that's, I'm going to fight and I'm going to win. And I don't know if you can call that a New Year's resolution or just me being me. I'm pretty stubborn and pretty pigheaded and a fighter. And I'm sticking with my wife. I'm going to be part of my grandson's lives, and I'm not leaving this community. I have not attained my life's mission yet.
It's a good strategy. It's a good goal. And again, when you're dealing with situations um, like yours, it's important to be positive. Look at the positive aspects of things in life. You've done a really good job. Um,
Well, it's like every time I go in for the chemo, they ask me about depression and all that. I keep telling them, and those of you who might not know this, you might want to look this up on Google. There's a thing called the Kubler-Ross stages of death and dying, but it can be used for a lot of other things like divorce and loss of a child and all that type of stuff. I've never gotten out of pissed off. I don't like bullies. I was bullied as a child, and something in me snapped. And I don't care how big a bully is, the bigger they are, the more I'll fight them. And this cancer is nothing more than a cellular bully. So I've not left pissed off, and I have no intention on it because it's my motivation to fight. So, I've gotten into a lot of fights with people, in my younger days when they were being mean to ladies who didn't deserve it. I just don't like bullies, and I don't have a round of depression with it. My wife looks at me and says, "You're not afraid of dying?" I said, "No, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of leaving you. I'm afraid what's going to happen to you if I'm gone. So I'm sticking around because I don't have a choice. I got to take care of you." And that's it. And that's the way I feel about this community, the way I feel about the content that I try to create. Um, it's the way I feel about my grandsons. So I'm not I'm not going anywhere. Besides besides the way I look at it, with my personality, neither God nor Satan wants me there. I'm like, "You take him. No, you take him. No.
Hey,
Leave him there."
hey, hold on real quick. Be quiet. Can you
Yeah.
guys hear this? Can you hear it at all?
No.
Oh, can you guys in chat? You can't hear it at all. My son's cleaning or doing something. He's like, oh, I wish you guys could hear it. I'd take the microphone. He sees me walk out. Oh my gosh, that's funny. And it's not even close to singing. It sounds like what I would sing. Like I am not.
Yeah, I've
Used to
gotten
be
I
when I
heard a
was
taste of
younger.
that.
Used to be when I was younger. I actually had an issue with my gut. They went through my nose, and they went through. They stretched the right side of my vocal cord, and so I used to sing madrigals high school choir at the church, and after they did that procedure, I lost half of my tonal quality. So I just don't sing anymore. I sound terrible when I try to get in. But no, your attitude towards this is just it's great. And again, you need to fight, do the things you need to do, take care of yourself. You've got a bike, you've been riding, doing stuff. Stay active. That's the big one. Don't fall into yourself. And you've done really good. 25. He's 25 AA. So yeah. Anyway, funny stuff. Oh, you guys, you're making me laugh. I appreciate you guys. So let me go back up. Tiger, I'll be praying for you. Some positive outcomes. Also, cancer is a bully. Don't give up this fight. That's awesome, Frank. Thank you.
Thank
Greg
you.
Olson lost my oldest son and my mother last year to cancer. Sorry, dude. It's an unforgiving disease. It's relentless, and it doesn't matter age, doesn't matter your race, your creed, your sex, doesn't matter the color of your skin. It'll take you all the same. And some of my buddies, they're part of a triathlon team that is F blank 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 cancer, and that's what they do in triathlon. It's a massive program because again, it's just one of those things. Coach's Magic. I have individual tiled folders on the Google Drive for coins, photos of each that are attached. Beauty, right? That's going in. If you don't have a ton of coins, it's easier to do. It's really tough if you have a large collection. But again, just to document some of it so you can track it is important. I was I'm not sure. Let's see. Did I see Miss Tiger talking today about you losing your fur baby?
I know she's done some new stuff. Um, I was busy editing 2 videos, so I didn't really watch. Plus, I went to physical therapy. Little downside to the electric bike, kinda hard to ride it when you got snow and ice on the road. So
Fact.
I'm at least grateful for the stationary bike in the physical therapy department and, working on that.
Yeah, Jack Gallman, I remember that. It's been a difficult year and retirement this year too. But Jack Gallman's another trooper. He's another one who saw the positive side of things and took the bull by the horns. But I know that that was a very difficult time for him.
What did he have?
His wife passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack.
Let's
That's all right.
see. Have you and Tiger had an official argument on YouTube about goldbacks? Um, so there is this. Oh, I got to bring him back up. Hold on. I got to pull him back up. There we go. Okay, pull him back up. Get him back up there.
Oh God, my
Um,
ribs hurt.
so goldbacks are kind of one of these weird things. So it's one of these things where I like them. There's a couple of them that are absolutely gorgeous. The $5 ones are the some of the prettiest ones. There's a new $3 one that's gorgeous. It's Arizona, I think. Free or the
Yeah,
$10 one.
like
Amazing.
$270.
Yeah, crazy. Um, so for the collectible aspect of it, I'm good with a gold back. No big deal. I will not do stacking. I won't stack them. I won't even use them as money. I don't. They're nothing more to me than a collectible, and I'm staunch on that for two reasons. I am a slave to a chart. I'm going to show you a chart, and the reason I'm a slave to this particular chart is that um, there is um, there is an adoption with technology that has to occur in order for people to get on board. And what happens is a lot of times a company, and I'm not saying that they have a product that in time, given the right buy-in from the right people, that it could be what they want it to be. They will tell you that their number one issue is exactly what mine is. And it is just one of those things. Unfortunately, it's just always going to be that way. I'm trying to find something,
Did
and
you
for
see what
some
OC
odd reason,
Stacker said?
nope, I'm looking for something. I can't see chat.
Okay, I'll just read it to you. OC says Frostbyte is doing a goldback giveaway tonight.
It'll look like gold foil when you get it. Okay. So, how many of you have seen this? You guys know what this is, you guys and gals. If you don't know what it is and you're watching, you have to subscribe before I explain it. Please subscribe though if you haven't already. This is the technology, the adoption curve. And this is one of the primary reasons that I don't like goldback as a form of money. Because I look at our silver coinage. So I have a question for everybody in chat, really quick. How much is a mercury dime worth? Silver value. No,
Approximately.
no, no, no.
No,
Chat.
no. Okay, okay.
There's a very specific reason I'm asking chat. Okay. How much is a mercury dime worth? A single mercury dime worth. We're not talking about high quality. We're talking about anything else. Just silver content. How much is that worth? We'll let a few people put in a couple different prices. The reason that I have the belief, the issue, is because of what we're seeing here. Now, how many of you in chat, and I know some of you people watch on TV, And I know some of you are watching on your phone, and it's a royal pain in the ass to get into chat on those modes. I do understand that. But if you have the capability, how many of you don't have a clue how much a dime is going for right now? The reason that I ask this question while you guys are doing something in what somebody's willing to pay. Okay. But the problem is if I ask somebody, how much is this worth? Very few people outside of our community are going to know the answer. Silver coinage has been around since the birth of our nation, and we still don't know the value of it. How in the hell can you tell me that somebody's going to understand after 250 years of it being the primary source of our money that a goldback is worth whatever it's supposed to be? We don't understand the fundamental premise. General population, remember, stackers account for anywhere between 2 and 3% of the total American collector or stacker. 2 to 3%. The rest of America, that's innovator, folks. That's over here. In order to get businesses on board, and Lynette Zhang said this, and this is the first time she said this about something else, but it applies to her adoption to this. In order to get people on board, you have to have 3% of the businesses to accept the idea and run with it. Those are your innovators. That's that 2.5%. We've had silver in our money for 250 years, and we've never got out of this.
You know where they get that 3% from?
It is. I'm trying to remember from where that came from. I can pull it up and look at it. Yeah, it's
I
been
can tell
presented.
you, it was also presented when I did the last live with Chris Pritt and uh, uh, um, uh,
Sound Money Metals.
no, not Daniel, Dennis Keating from Alpine Gold. Um, Chris brought it up. And I think also Daniel's brought it up, and I think Lynette indirectly refers to it. It's started off with uh, the Revolutionary War. 3% of the populace was devoted to making us a nation separate and distinct from England, um, and that's where the whole 3% comes from. If you get 3% of the population on board, things start to move. So that's
Okay,
where they
so
bring that up from.
but that's a misnomer, and that's where a lot of people get stuff wrong. 2.5% are the innovators. 3%. We'll leave it at 3% because it's easy math. But just because people pick it up does not mean it will take off. There are a lot of places that get to this 16% and then crash in the chasm. This is where people forget. They don't, it's there, but it's not there. It kind of comes, it kind of goes. But 3% of business will help get a product moving. But it doesn't mean it'll take wide adoption. That is a misnomer. That is a blatant disuse of the technology curve that you see here. Now, these ideas fall for everything. And it does take about 3% for those innovators. Those 3% are the people that'll jump on board at the very beginning. As soon as it comes out, they're the ones that are out there for 47 hours standing in line in the freezing rain for the first iPhone. That's the innovators. That's the 2.5%. That's where Goldbacks is. They haven't even reached that point yet. And I showed Tiger, I pulled the math up, and I'm like, look at the distribution curve. 650 million businesses, and they're in 80,000. They're at 0.0001%. Okay, one tenth of a thousandth a percent. It's how many businesses they're engaged in. And so it's easy when you're inside something to look at it and go, oh my God, look at all these businesses. Well, yeah, let's take an overall conglomeration of how many businesses in Texas. It's less than a tenth of a thousandth of a percent. Where's the adoption in that? Where are those people that are going to make that impact going to come from? They're not the 2.5%, those major, the early majority. I want you to think about where Bitcoin is, crypto.
Well, I mentioned that in the video I released today. What I'd found out was greater than 3,000 businesses are accepting goldbacks, where Bitcoin is around 2.3 thousand businesses that accept Bitcoin. And the point that I got to make on a counterpoint is that there is approximately going to be 3 states joining the gold back movement per year. So I'm assuming that there's going to be increased businesses accepting it as increased states are coming on board. So I have a feeling that the percentages are going to increase with more states coming on board.
Okay, so more
As
states.
opposed to Bitcoin, which a lot of people nationally and internationally have already on board with it, even claiming it's the new gold, and you only got 2.3 thousand businesses willing to accept it as a currency.
Oh, there's way more than that. There's way more than that. That's nowhere near close. Um, and the reason I say this is there were just massive announcements 2 weeks ago where massive banks were taking this as a major way in which to deal with transactions. There are a number of accounts. There are other people that utilize, or there are other coins out there that utilize Bitcoin as their basis. They are accepted everywhere. That number is not even near close to being. When you look at this chasm, Bitcoin's here. Okay, silver coinage is down around here, and goldbacks are down here.
I'll have to
Goldbacks.
wait for the delay because I can't see that too. I'm still on delay on YouTube.
Oh, because you're not seeing it on the other. That's right. Because I'm just sharing my screen. Got you. Um, Vincent, Bitcoin is going to go to zero. Maybe. If you look at what happened today, rallied up to 90,000, and then in an hour and a half, lost $100 million in revenue as people were taking profits because the price of Bitcoin went from 90,000 in 1.5 hours to 80,000. But people, when it hit 90, sold it. But there were a lot of people expecting that that was going to sell. Yes, it's problematic, absolutely. But so is silver, right? Anybody that doesn't think that they have the same issues in silver, 90% or 40%, forgot what happened just a month or two ago when nobody could take their silver coins in because nobody was saying, no, we're not taking it. If you're stacking 40%, 90%, nobody will accept it. What are you going to do with it? And so what's important to look at when you're looking at these types of things is diversification. It doesn't matter what you have. It really doesn't. It's that you diversify. You need to make sure that it doesn't matter if it's platinum, palladium, gold, silver, or if it's numismatic, whether it's old numismatic, new numismatic, collectible market, whatever it is, understand what your strategy is and utilize, but it can only be a percentage of it. Remember that your stack should only be a portion of your bottom line portfolio. It shouldn't be your entire portfolio. Now, there's a lot of people that utilize that as their portfolio because, like myself, I'm going to spend the money anyway. I might as well buy it on something that's going to retain value. Right? Before I got into collecting and stacking really hardcore, I played games online, and they cost me hundreds of dollars a month. Where am I ever going to get any refund from that? Never. I won't. Right? So I changed my strategy and started utilizing silver and gold or whatever as a way to, if I'm going to spend the money anyway, might as well have something to hold for it. But I still do my investment. I still do um, my 401k. I still do my stocks. I still do my bonds. I still reinvest my yields. Right? I still roll those things over. Coins, numismatics, stacking should be a portion of that portfolio. So make sure that you're adjusting accordingly. And I'll tell you right now, depending upon where you're at in this whole silver, gold back thing, like for me, you won't see me stack a single gold back. I'll collect it because I like the design, but I don't think you'll ever be able to get your money out of it. Now, I always love this argument. Tiger, you can rebut this if you want, but what happens in an SHTF situation and they don't accept it, your money? What are you going to do?
Ultimately, if things don't work out, I'll just contact Alpine Gold and exchange it for something else.
Assuming they accept it. Because if it happens and it drops through the floor and they're no longer do that, they could stop that policy.
Well,
What
you could say
happens
that
if
about
Alpine
any of
Gold
the
says no?
you could say
You're
that about
absolutely right.
any
You're
of the metals
absolutely
that
right.
can
Yep.
happen.
But
You
you
know,
have to take that into consideration.
yeah, you could say, we just saw a pretty decent pullback in the major jump on silver over this last weekend to Monday, and in theory, they could pull that down to $30 an ounce. So they can pull the gold, manipulate the gold back down to $2,500 an ounce. Um, so it depends on who has the more power. I mean, the system falling apart or the manipulators. With you know China and India demanding physical delivery, they broke the LBMA and subsequent COMEX. What happens if the manipulators find a way to manipulate it back so that they're back in control? I mean, that can happen potentially. I don't think it will, but it's potential. You can say the same thing about Goldback. This is all um, a speculative play. Do you believe that our system's failing, considering that 4,800 plus currencies have failed in a 6,000 year period of time? You know, it tends to lead towards the fact that we're moving towards a failing fiat currency. So, you're kind of using history as a speculative play for what's going to happen in the future, whether it's gold, silver, platinum, palladium, any of them.
So just to kind of reiterate, you told me that it's like 2.5% of businesses that have accepted crypto.
It was
60%,
2.3 what I found.
60% of Fortune 500 companies active working on blockchain initiatives, digital asset exchange, Coinbase, COIN, second quarter state of crypto report published on 54% growth on the current year. SMB using crypto, 60% of the Fortune 500s have increased this. Two major banking strategies and 10 more have been looking into making it a part of their official investment portfolios. We know that more. The major ones was the announcement of J.P. Morgan and somebody else, Stanley, maybe. Um, anyway, go back up. Now, when we look at crypto for its potential, the greater regulatory thing, the F500 executives, that's the Fortune 500, say that 90% of the crypto regulation is in need of support. It needs adaptation. It needs to be updated because of the wide acceptance of it. So when we look at that chart again, when we look at this graph, they're already in the early majority. They're breaking through the chasm, and so but they're still in that pragmatic stage. When you have to look at how far it's adopted. The goldbacks You walk out on the street. You go somewhere that's not stackers, it's not collectors. Walk out on the street and ask one question. How much would you give me for this? Take that $3 gold back from Arizona. That'd be a great one, right? How much would you give me for this? And then walk around and ask people. There's a lot of people that are going to say not a thing. Well, but it's funny money. It's not probably not even real. That's real gold. How do you know? Right? So maybe they might go look at it, but they're probably just going to discount you. My argument with this is people know crypto. People know about our money. We've had 250 years silver coinage, and they don't know what the value of silver is. Why in the hell would they think that the gold back was going to carry? It's a very small niche, a very small subset of the population. And maybe, but it's a gamble that I don't like. I just don't like that. I believe that all markets are manipulated from Bitcoin to stable coins, all market assets. Bitcoin isn't necessarily tied to, well, I mean, no, I can't say that. It is, but I get what you're saying. Crypto's like 1% as an exchange. So it depends on what exchange you're using. What world is that?
That's my brother-in-law sending me multiple texts. It's probably a bunch of thumbnails that he worked on and just
Oh,
sent
they
them.
finally finally able to send
Yeah.
it through. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, he sends them to my cell phone and ding ding ding. It's really annoying when he does it when I'm recording a video.
Yeah, so Vincent, that's kind of where I'm going with that. You're going to get 10 cents from the dime because people know what that is. Right? They're going to say it's worth a dime. The gold back, probably nothing. And so again, when you talk about adoption, they talk about that 3%. They're not even at the population yet. They're businesses. And they're trying to get it rolled up in the businesses. They still have the entire population to get a hold of. I can guarantee you not 3% of the population knows gold back. There's no way. They don't know the value of it. I promise you. There are people in our community who do this stuff all the time that don't know the value of a gold. They would have to Google it right now in order to find the answer. They just don't know. Just like there are people in this chat who stack silver and gold. Say again?
Unless they watch my video, which I released it in the last 24 hours.
And how many people have watched that? 800,000?
Smart ass.
My point is, we're in a community, a very small community of people, and we forget that our little subset of people are not the greater mindset of America. We are a small niche. Actually, we're kind of a really weird niche of people. Think about it. We're nuts. We spend a lot of money on money. I mean, come on.
That's a funny way of saying it.
Yeah. People are like, you're freaking retarded. What are you doing? Why are you spending money on money? So, but the point is that we forget because we're in this community, right? And it's just one of those things where it's so easy to overestimate. It's so easy to overestimate the impact. So easy to overestimate. And you get somebody who's excited about it, and man, they can spin interest, but when it comes down to it, go take them somewhere. Seriously, go take them somewhere. Go take them to any shop. Now you get on the website and find out the one shop in your city that takes them. Obviously, they're going to take it. But what's the exchange rate? You go take that to any other place. We've done the gold back thing. Matt, I think it was Matt Dinger and somebody else who took a gold back and gave it to one of the $5 ones, gave it to lady at the restaurant as a tip, along with some other, I can't remember what it was. And it was like $100 tip, right? And it's like, well, if I gave you these three things, which would you want? And there was the, $25 on the receipt, the coin, and then the gold back. And they were like, they just took the receipt. The coin was worth like 70 or 80 bucks, and the gold back was, 530, 40, whatever it was. I don't remember who it was that did that. There's been a couple other people who've done stuff. People don't know the value. They just don't. We get stuck in this little mindset, and we've got to remember there's a whole world outside of us. And when you just ask the question, and if you ask the question, you'll find out really quickly. That's that's not that's not what you're saying. And you know the old adage about statistics, right?
What's that?
Statistics don't lie, but liars use statistics.
Okay, that's a little different variation than what my grandfather used to say.
So,
He'd say
the
figures
people are
lie, but liars can figures don't lie, but liars can figure.
exactly, yeah, same thing, same thing. Michael and Nancy, I can't believe you're still awake, dude. Thanks for hanging out with me. Um, the people around here don't know what a goldback is or care to have one. Facts, right? And so this is just something, you've talked about it. You have your coins. People look at you and go, "Why in the hell would you spend $300 for that? Why?" I could go buy so much more stuff, or I could buy this yes clutch for 180, and everybody knows what it is. Um, why would I do that? So yeah, it's really easy. We get in our little niches and to forget about this. Again, my job is systems thinking. It's to look at our little small problem and how does it play into the scope of things. And when I look at Goldback, it's like it's a fail. It's just a boom. It's not even on my radar. Um, anybody there would be hard pressed to talk me into it. Now, Goldback and Tiger, you and I have talked about this. Goldback is doing some things that I am interested in. They are trying to diversify and correct, which is their primary shortfall, by diversifying the product in ways that will help them get those things out there. Buying a Goldback and having it where you can put it on an exchange and trade it for other pieces or get fiat back from it, whatnot. An EBT kind of environment, if you will. So they're trying different things. But again, if you want to roll this up into what is the money format that nobody wants? I just went blank. It's a 4-letter.
Not sure where you're going with that.
Digital money.
Okay.
Ones and zeros. Government based, government ran. EBTF or
ETF?
no, it's 4 letters. CBDC.
Okay.
CBDC. It's not that far what they're doing from that. I mean, it's different, but they're trying to package all these things together to be what Texas had proposed and everybody else. It's what the state is doing that they call it in species, right? It's the in specie line. It's just another way it's another type of credit card, basically what it is. And that's basically what they're going to. So there's some positive aspects of that because they're trying to overcome the main barrier they had. That main barrier was talked about when I don't remember if I think it was when you interviewed them. Like, what's the one thing that's the problem? And they were very clear. This is absolutely, it's everybody knows it. This is where and they were transparent as hell. I hold respect for them. I'm not knocking Goldback as a company. I can tell you the quality of the quality of their product is great. It's beautiful. It's hard to reproduce. Matter of fact, I don't know of anybody who's successfully done it. So the product is neat. I'm not knocking their product. It's just not a stacking. In my opinion, and I will say in my opinion, I don't think it's something that is worth stacking. It's not something you should lock money into.
I can understand where you're coming from. I still see it as a chance to, after we go through the terrible stages of the early stages of SHTF, and people don't have faith in the dollar.
Yeah.
Um, people, you're going to have three merchants. You're going to have three general types of merchants. One recognizes constitutional silver and will let you barter and trade that way. Another one will think you're trying to fool them, trying to give them, a dime or a quarter that's silver, and they're thinking that worth clad money, although they won't know what a clad coin is anyway. And then you're going to, then that one's going to probably won't believe anything that's silver unless it's stamped silver. Then you got the third merchant that's going to say, "Well, I don't want any silver. I want your gold, and I'm not going to give them a hunk of gold for a small purchase." So that's for me. It's a pawn on the chessboard of SHTF.
So I agree. It's again, it's one of the many players, right? And you have to choose how you diversify, what it is that you utilize, how you're going to do that. You have to make
Mhm,
those concessions, and you say
mhm,
this is a risk and it's a gamble.
mhm.
Anytime you're dealing with metals, I don't care what anybody says, it's a gamble. You take $100,000 tomorrow, you could lose $20,000 of it. Boom, it's a gamble. We don't know the future. We don't know where it's heading. All of us together learn information and we say gold, silver, platinum, palladium, they are more rare. They have their backing. They've been money. They're substantial. You hold it in your hands. In the case of a situation where I have to do this, I can turn this into money, and that it's a gamble. But I can tell you in the early stages of an SHTF situation, we're not going to be worried about our gold.
No, we're not.
There's going to be
We're
people within
gonna
2 days that are killing each other for food and water.
well, that's gonna be the next stage. The first stage, they're gonna have faith in the paper dollars until they realize that it ain't worth crap.
Well, but
Then they're
again,
gonna be killing each other for food and water.
that's the cash has nothing to do in a full in a real world hardcore SHTF situation. Um, there's going to be some of that, but you're not going to be able to get anything within a few days. Stores are gone, stocks are empty, warehouses are not going to be transferring stuff to these places. There's going to be looting. I mean, we just look at what happened in LA and stuff like that. Some of the riots.
I'll be
It takes
right back.
Yeah, no problem. It takes very very little for it to flip a group of people, and all of a sudden now we have chaos. Um, there are other things that are way more important than silver and gold. I mean, you should learn how to start a fire. You should learn how to, feed yourself, learn how to plant some stuff. You need to learn how to survive without that. What ways do you have to provide for yourself? There's a lot of things that you need to consider. Couple days with water, 7 days with food. Water's way more important than people remember. Water's going to have to be one of those things, but it's going to be a series. And again, I agree with you, Vincent. It's going to be it's going to be a situation where money is not our initial problem. It's going to cause a problem, but I don't think it's going to be an initial problem. I think you're absolutely right. Um, Food, water, health, um, art of war, right? Take out their electricity, take out their water. They're two prime targets. They're number one targets because without that, a majority of your infrastructure and a majority of your population is going to be miserable. How much power does a population have against a government when 90% of people are unhappy? Carry a lot of power. And if you have a true uprising, go look at the revolution in France. You have a true uprising, watch what happens to the monarchy. Look what happens to the leadership when people rise up. So there's going to be a lot more things that are going to be in the engagement. And if you're a true survivalist, And I am not. I have this. I'm not a sponsor, but if you don't have this, this is an amazing book, The Lost Way. Um, this talks about um, skin and chicken, making recipes, sourdough, flours, what plants you can eat, different kinds of molds, how to make glue, resins, start a fire, making beans, how to set a burner to a gas stove. Um, lots of really cool stuff in here. Something like this is extremely important because you're going to have to learn how to do things. One of the most important things for stacking, you're going to stack is knowledge. Knowledge is going to be key. Knowing how to do things, knowing how to survive without these things. Honestly, do you even see what's happening in this country right now? Um, Probably more than most people, Gary, because of what I do. So yeah, but I also know that there are people out there that are panicky and freaky, and they're so concerned about it they get all jittery and shit. And it's not as bad as people say it is. And I can say this because if you were in Spain 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, or Italy when they were having a genuine financial crisis, go look at the death rates during that time frame. We haven't even come close to that yet. We're not even there yet. We haven't even begun to reach the panic. Go look at history. Go look and see what happens when it gets really bad. We haven't seen some of this stuff. What's happening in our country that's bad right now is the political battle left, right, and I'm right just because I spoke. It's weird. It's not conducive to relationship. And a lot of people equate that to the end time. They're totally different. Um, so dollar, not where it should be, but it's fairly strong. Anybody wants to argue with me on that, I'll bring a couple financial experts in who have done tons and tons of research on this. Yes, the dollar's slipping a little bit, but it's still fairly strong in the ultimate
It's kind of the
run of
healthiest sick
things.
person in the house.
Say again?
Kind of like the healthiest sick person in the house.
Yeah, exactly. And so, a lot of people, and again, I know, Gary, military, special service, you've seen the stuff. I mean, you've seen it get bad. You have an eye for things that a lot of people don't. But sometimes the military history, and I have my military history, Tiger has his. As you look at your military history, we see things in preparation for, but they haven't happened yet. So we can start to see things, but the writing really hasn't become on the wall. And I can tell you, once that happens, once people really know what's going on, once people really identify where we're at, there's going to be some issues. And I promise you, when it happens, there's no question. Everybody will know. It'll be like Spain when Spain had their financial closure. Go look and see what happened. Go check the history out. What happened when Spain basically forfeited their finances for them. Go watch what happened when they had their financial collapse. Look at what happened to the people. It's very clear. Go look at what happened in Greece. Go look at the gangs and how things worked up. It was crazy. Tiger was in the Army and I was in the Navy.
Interesting side note. Wife is cleaning house. She's trying to get rid of all the stuff that has been collected over the years. And basically, uh, she found both my Class A and my dress blues uniform. I thought those were long since gone. So I looked at her and said, please don't sell these. She looked at me and says, I wasn't going to sell them, but she was in such a hyper selling whatever we don't need mode. So I mean, I couldn't believe it. I still have my Class A, and I still have my dress blues. I'm tickled pink.
I
I
think I can
just
get
had
one leg in
Christmas
my
all
dress
over
blues.
again. I'm probably the same way.
But I do have this hand.
Cracker Jack.
Very first Cracker Jack hat. I love that thing. Um, when I wore it, finished boot camp, gave it to my mom and said, hold on to it. And a few months ago, she sent it back to me. It's the time that you have. Yeah, I've got a lot of it stuff, but we have a number of people I've seen in here. Emerald Coast is a retired United States Air Force. Who yeah,
That's the best.
say again.
That's the best branch to be in. You know, you're couple countries back from any front line. You have all the technology. You get some of the smartest people. And back when I was in the military, the Army had to run 2 miles. The Air Force only had to run a mile and a half. Made me realize I wish it had switched over to the Air Force, but there you go. I hate running. I'm assuming you had to do some running on those ships.
Yeah, we just ran around the outside on the deck. But yeah, I mean, we did our PT. It looked a little bit different. Obviously, when you're on a ship, there's some stuff. But when we were shoreside, we had. But my favorite is the Marines. I love the Marines, even though being Navy. Um, and the reason I like the Marines is the Marines were the best Army the Navy ever had. Just kidding. If you're a
Uh,
Marine, I really do appreciate you. Um, but again, yeah, it's a esprit de corps, and it's just one of those things. But no, Gary, talking about psyop and what's going on, I understand. But again, uh, just because we can see portions of what's going on doesn't mean that our nation's in that shape yet. We do need to prepare for it. We do need to be aware of things, but there's a lot of people who speak so much doom and gloom, that again, self-fulfilling prophecies. If you talk about it enough and you live it enough and you focus on that end, you'll steer yourself to that end point. And so it's important that you understand and look at the general construct of things. And well, I know this has been happening. Yeah, we all know it's been happening. Well, not all of us, but most of us will. I have been on a couple different ones, Frank. I was on the USS Chosin, USS Fletcher, USS Cowpens, USS Cushing. USS Cushing was my primary ship. I spent a little bit of time on a USS Fast Attack LA class submarine, and then got to spend about a month on a boomer. And you got to be a unique person to be on subfleet, man. I give huge props and kudos to the folks that do that, because
I'll agree. I'll
it's
agree.
it's amazing. But there's a lot of people, but it's no different than Gary jumped out of airplanes and climbed through trees. Chuck Stacker just gifted 5 memberships. Jonathan
Thank you, Chuck.
Hughes, very fitting. Greg Olson, your parents are stronger. Your parents had a stronger Fiat. Dandy Dave, Jackknife. Jackknife, actually, that's pretty cool because he was talking about having a tough time. So glad he got that. Acadian and Space for LSB. Outstanding. Thanks so much, Chuck. I appreciate the support. And hopefully that audio is a little bit quieter than it was before. Still sounds kind of loud on my end. I'll turn that down. Hopefully it's loud enough. I don't want it to be too loud. That should be a little bit quieter for you guys. Hopefully it is. But thank you so much, Chuck. I appreciate your friendship and all your support, brother. It was good hanging out with you. So I've hung out with Chuck twice. My son went once and my daughter went the other time. and they were both like, "He's a good guy." Oh, Submariners are nuts. Mariners are crazy, and they love to play mind games. You ever seen Down Periscope? You ever seen that movie?
No.
But if you haven't seen Down Periscope, you've got to watch that. Kelsey Grammer, amazing. He's a captain. They give him this old diesel boat, and it's just horrible. And he's got a ragtag crew, and it is the funniest thing. But they do something in that, which is they tie Tiger 5 more memberships. Thanks, brother. Appreciate
It,
you.
it it's a kitty night.
Wrong channel. Matt Winge, Vincent, or no, Gambit, THS, and Ron Pierce. Hard to do that when they plug it in there while we're reading those. Thanks so much, brother.
Did you ever tell you that the Navy came to me at my house when I was, what, 18, getting ready to graduate high school and go to college? They wanted me to become uh, a nuclear engineer so that I could run submarines. I'm like, no. My mom and dad were a little offended because I was so adamant. And when they finally questioned me on it, I was like, uh, okay, so I'm going to be in a submarine for an extended period of time. Says, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and you got to keep in mind, this is back in the 70s and coming up to the 80s. And I was like, and how many women are on those ships? And if there are any, how many am I allowed to flirt with? Says, none. I said, and now you know why I'm not joining the Navy.
Priorities,
That,
brother. Priorities.
I said, I might not have a girlfriend, but I like to look.
Yeah. So, um, being on a submarine, it's cool. It's cool. You have to learn every job. There's a lot of stuff you have to do. But in the Down Periscope movie, they take a line and they drape it. And as the boat goes under the water, the pressure on the hull squeezes. And so that top line drops. And if you've never experienced that before, even in double hold subs, you still get compression. And it is a mind game. Because when you're under the water, it's smooth, it's easy. But when you surface, it's a tin can, it's rolling back and forth. So you get nice to this and they tell you, you're going to turn or whatever so you can prepare yourself. But it's, on a surface ship, it's rock, rock, steady, steady, rock, rock, steady, steady. You get the feel of the ocean, get the feel of the waves and weather. But when you're under it, none of that affects you. So it's a trippy place to be. But I really did enjoy the time in the military. It was a lot of fun. Gatita has become a member. Thank you so much, Gatita. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Wrong Channel just gifted 5 memberships. Holy smokes, you guys. Gatita, Jerry Mandarin, Bait the Hook, Sunday Peak, and Larry Singh. You guys are crushing it. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. And yeah, so to answer Emerald Coast, that movie was Philadelphia. Not Down Periscope. But no, I know you couldn't resist, but it was funny. I was on the Kennedy, the Lincoln. We evacuated the Mill Independence from Clarkins. Oh, cool. That's awesome, Frank. And your namesake has a ship too.
There is one ship I think I would like to go on, and possibly with you, if they still sell her for people to have just a little run on, as the USS Constitution. I would love to hop on that while they're doing something. I don't know if they do that for
They do.
citizens.
They do. So they'll have special dignitaries I told you I got to watch them train, got to go to the ship, didn't get a sail on it. But the cadets at the academy, the Naval Academy, actually have a rotation. There's a group that actually serve, and they learn to sail, hardcore sail, and it's wicked cool. Yeah, that's fact. He did. It was a great movie. But that was the whole Navy thing. So I had to play with you on that. But
Talk to the
yeah, but
missus about us going sailing somewhere if we ever come down to Texas to hang out with you guys. Get rent some sailboat and just hang out. And Mrs. Had a conniption fit. Said, "Don't worry, I'll get you a really good life vest." So
well, the one thing Gary, he's like uncle that was a Marine, a brother-in-law that was a Marine. I had a Marine recon instructor at Halo School. So Marines, they're no joke. I know a number of Marines. We got quite a few in the community, and they're diehards. Once a Marine, always a Marine, right? Um, the thing is about with esprit de corps. It's I joke about the Marines being the best army that they ever had. You know, and you've heard my joke, Tiger, about military communication. You ever heard
I
that?
don't think so. I don't think so.
Is there anybody in chat who hasn't heard or who has heard my military communication joke? Because if you haven't, it's a great way to talk about the subtleties in communication between military members. It's funny, but it's also absolute truth. And if you have people, no such thing as an ex-Marine, that's fact. Once a Marine, always a Marine. And when you talk about esprit de corps, they're some of the strongest. I would tie Air Force and Marines, or excuse me, Navy and the Air Force behind Army. So it would be Marines, Army, and the Navy and Air Force that are pretty close to each other when it comes to that. I know a lot of people, Navy acronym, never again volunteer yourself. So not everybody does that, but yeah, there's quite a few. So the communication in military is the word secure the building. Oh, we didn't even talk about the coasties. But again, they're the service to themselves. And you got to respect a fleet of ships that if they sink, they can just walk ashore. Um, Secure the building. Now, I seen Frank McCain was United States Air Force. So, Frank, tell me if this is true or not with a true or capital T or an F, false, whatever. Secure the building, right? The Air Force goes in, does a survey of the land around the building, puts in a 5-year option lease to buy, and they call the building secure. Is that true? Right? Building secure. We have secured it. Okay. Now, Navy. Go in, shut off all the lights, shut all the windows, lock the doors, walk outside, lock the gate, building secure. Normal part of our watch and stuff. And so done, building secure. Take the Army. The Army will put around the perimeter a fence. They will bring out their loudspeakers, bring out their ammunition, set it up. They'll load it, but they'll never fire a shot. And they'll call that building secure. And then the Marines will unload 400,000 pounds of copper. And once it's absolutely flattened, disseminated, destroyed to the ground, will the Marines say that building is secure? So there are terms and language that is used in each service. And this is why when you hear people bantering between each other and their military members, you probably just don't get it. So be careful for communication, and you'll hear a lot of people jive and do stuff like that with everybody. But it's simply because of esprit de corps, and there's a lot of love for the people who defend our nation. So those who have and still doing. 50 likes. I'm going to give away a coin. So let me figure out what it is I'm going to give away. I have sitting here in front of me.
I don't think I followed Jonathan Hughes. Says, when did you graduate, winter or summer, from the Marines? I was never in.
I'm not seeing the. When did you grow? Winter or summer? Oh, they have 2 classes per year, probably. Let's see. Yeah, target is secure. Yeah, and again, it's just one of those communication things. It's just a language thing that happens. I got mad at a doctor one time. Tiger, you think this is really funny? Because he wrote SOB in my chart. What does SOB mean? Are you there? He might have had to step away. Oh, or he lost his signal. Um, oh, I wonder where he went. He may come back. Um, he may have lost his internet. But forgot what I was talking about. I got distracted. Somebody help me remember what I was saying. Oh, that's terrible. Got on a train of thought and then Tiger Bell. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, giveaways. I have. Oh yeah, son of a. Okay, there you go. Um, SOB. Yes. So it stands for son of a, right? And that's what I thought that they were writing in my. But the doctor was actually telling me that I was short of breath. And so I was having some breathing issues. And so they were writing SOB. And I got really angry, and the doctor never really quite understood that their terminology could be offensive. There's other ones that they put in there, and there's actually some language that they are not allowed to put in there anymore. But yeah, it's a funny story because it's, people don't think about the language you use and how it can be applied. There was a great story about an advertisement that went out, and it was against women abuse. And the people that did this were well-meaning. They genuinely wanted to help the community. They genuinely wanted to do something. And so when you do this, it's hashtag um, whatever, right? Well, it was hashtag women. And if you don't call it hashtag, you call it pound. And so, needless to say, it didn't go over very well because an anti-abuse with the hashtag or the pound women is not conducive. So you've got to be very careful. A lot of people don't necessarily think about language, but we do talk about that all the time with the military. So he's calling me real quick. Hold on. Oh, you just disappeared. Yeah, you're gone. You're like disappeared. I don't know where you went. Yep, I heard you beep. Okay. He's back. Hold on, let me jump back down. There we go.
Oh, I am so getting rid of Optimum slash Suddenlink. We got a guy coming to the house. He was supposed to come today, but there was snow on the roof and everywhere else. We're gonna go to Starlink.
Good. I want everybody to be entering information into chat. If you're watching, you're not subscribed, you want to be a part of this, I'll give it about 2 or 3 minutes. You can subscribe, type something in chat, you'll be eligible for it. But that's totally up to you, no requirement. I'm going to pull from the people who are chatting, so just FYI. So that would be fun if you want to do that. And I have somewhere, I don't know where it's at. Probably on the other side. I'm going to throw in another proof coin, and so I'll send you two. One is a 64 proof. Nickel, probably proof 65, proof 66. Really nice coin. Got this one from Copper Coins, and then I will pull another coin. I don't know. Also, if you guys know Luther, you guys see Luther in the stream? He's given me a bunch of these copper bars. I'll throw a couple copper bars in there. So that'll be for whoever the winner of this is. I do have, if you've won on my channel and you haven't received something in the last 2 weeks, I didn't send anything out during the holidays. I wasn't going to mess with it. Just wasn't going to do it, but I just wanted to wait. So if you're expecting something, then definitely just expect it. Not a Silver Eagle. I don't have a Silver Eagle, and I'm not giving away that. I'll be doing something on New Year's, telling anybody what it is. But we'll definitely give something away. If you have a different proof coin that you want, like a very specific year, I will check and see if I have it. I'll look through my collection, see if I have one. If not, I can reach out to Chuck Daughtry, see if he can find one. If he can, I'll pick it up and I'll have him send it to you. No big deal. So I'll work with you on what these are. Just let me know. But you just got to put the stuff in chat. And I've got to say something. There was a message. I don't know if you guys follow Chuck Daughtry very much. Chuck Daughtry is taking a breather from you, stepping away. He's still going to do some stuff periodically. He's still going to be online, but he's kind of stepping away from the whole auction, the whole processing coins, being online all the time. He's still going to do research. He's still going to look into coins. He's just not doing that. I want you to do me a favor. If you don't know Chuck Daughtry is Copper Coin. Eric Beyer works there now. You see Eric on my channel all the time. He is a wealth of knowledge, a brilliant man. The guy has more facts inside his head than I have books. The guy's just an amazing resource to the community. I would like you all to do me a favor. If you see him pop into a stream or you watch a video from him, please let him know that you appreciate the content. This guy has some of the best videos. He's got a voice for he says he's got a voice, or he's got a face for radio. That's his quote. I love it. But the guy is just brilliantly smart. So please let him know that you appreciate all the efforts over the years, the live streams that he's done, the shows. He's done quite a bit of stuff, but it really is, it takes a lot of time. Gary, yeah, I understand. You have to take some time. You have to pull away. It's a drain. It takes a lot of effort to do this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of people who just, they need some time. And so if you run across him, please let him know that you're thinking of him, that you appreciate him, and that you appreciate him putting out content. I'm trying to get him up periodically to come back in. He's already told me he's not that interested in it. Hopefully time will change that, have him up as a guest. He does have some really cool things. Well, dude, go to sleep. if you're falling asleep and you're snoring. And if you're snoring and you're typing, then you need to go see a doc. You got sinus issues. What about you, Tiger? What do you want to chat about? I mean, I have ran my mouth for the last 30 minutes.
I haven't noticed.
I tend to do that.
I don't know by the time that I popped out, someone asked me about me, and like I said, I wasn't Marine Corps, but what I was saying was that I was at Fort Ord taking officers basic class in the summertime, but it was medical officers basic. It wasn't hardcore like say the infantry would do. Um, because they knew that our uh, uh, thanks OC Stacker. Everybody's got to be a smart aleck. So
Congratulations, L.
okay, she won. Cool.
L1.
Okay, but no, I was a service corps like all medical students were in something called the Medicine, Osteopathic Dentistry, and Veterinary program, which was a partial scholarship program. I was good enough to get the partial scholarship. I wasn't good enough to get the full scholarship, which would have mandated me to go full time uh, Army for, I don't know, 4+ years or so after training. But after that, I was one of the very few second lieutenants who busted my butt to become a first lieutenant, which I held for maybe about a year before I graduated medical school, switched from medical service corps to medical corps and became a captain. And then I left the 325th General Hospital in Independence, Missouri, and became a physician at the 104th Cavalry, Pennsylvania Army National Guard. Never earned my wings because every time I tried to go to the course to earn my wings, I had two doctors in my training program that tried to get me fired every time I tried to go, so I never really earned my wings. But I had a great time with the Cav unit, um, and eventually got out, mainly because I did not like our commander in chief at the time. He was constantly causing trouble in Serbia every time he got caught with his pants down, aka Bill Clinton. Um, so that was one of the reasons. And my commanding officer, who was really awesome, was replaced by someone who was really not. So I had a number of reasons to get out. Plus, I then had a wife that wanted me out of the military. So I should have stayed in. I would have had a little bit more of a retirement from it, but young and dumb. But no, I miss those days, and I miss all the friends that I had, and all my people in my unit that I had, especially my last unit. I had a really awesome physician's assistant who taught me a lot because I was an intern at the time and I knew just enough medicine to kill someone. That time we were dealing with Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and there was a rule in the Army that if you didn't complete 50% of a residency, you weren't eligible to go. And I mentioned that to the commanding officer, who then threatened court martial. I'm like, listen, dude, this isn't my rules. This is the Army's own rules. You can talk to the JAG officers if you want. We're not supposed to be taken anywhere unless they change the rules until we finish 50% of our residency. And I'm not even close to that. But fortunately for me, the 104th never got called to active duty. Um, Therefore, there was never going to be an issue. But yet at the same time, I hated the fact that I wasn't called to active duty. I was grateful because I didn't know enough medicine to really do my job well. I was still in training, but I was grateful because I wasn't going to hurt our boys. But on the other side of the coin, I was upset because a lot of my friends were already over there, and I wanted to be with them doing my part as well. So it was a mixed bag of nuts, mixed bag of emotions. So that's the short version of a very long story.
So I just dropped something in chat, and you all probably want to be typing something. Vincent has graciously offered, sent me a message and said, "Hey, you know what? That comment got me thinking. An ASC GA might be fun. How about I sponsor one and then I will send it to the winner?" So Vincent has just offered to do a silver eagle, and that is a hefty little gift. So Vincent, that away. I appreciate you, brother. So we'll give it just a few moments. Make sure you're dropping stuff in chat. And again, Vincent, I appreciate all the support. Uh, Lots of great conversation. Uh, Again, I'm glad to make your acquaintance. This has been great. I appreciate this. It's very nice.
Thank you, Vincent.
Um, you know what? Screw it.
Nice.
Gotcha. We'll do two. I can't let kindness go like that. We'll do two draws. Very cool. So, Tiger, tonight
Yes,
is rolled into the new day. What are your plans?
I got a few things. I'm gonna probably do like an hour, maybe two live stream for the eve of New Year's Eve. Um, and that way, I'm not going to do it on New Year's Day because you and I are going to do a live stream combo on New Year's Day, talking about your version of the spreadsheet. Um, then on Friday, I believe I'm going to do my very first members only live stream, in which everyone who is a member, please come to that, because I want you all to tell me what you all want me to do to build the channel and make it special for the members. I really want to do that. You OC, yeah, I got a message from Surfer. He's doing
Yep,
a
me too. Yep.
multi-hour live stream. He said 5 to midnight. I guess it's 5 to midnight Pacific time. So I'll have, if that's true, I'll have a little bit of wiggle room. Um, and then we got Stack Elector on the 5th. I'm also working on editing the live stream I did with Chris Pritt and Dennis Keating. I had a really awesome interview with another YouTuber that is going. It went really well. I hope some of you know who he is. His name's Jesse Day from Commodity Culture. He does a good bit with precious metals, but he also talks about other commodities. Had a most interesting first interview with him. Um, I am putting out a request to try to get Lynette Zhang back on the channel. So far, getting some positive feedback. Um, and hopefully going to have an interview with a fellow from Goldbacks that I got to lock down a date and a time, but that's not in the near future, but that will be coming up. So there's going to be some content coming out, and I'm hoping to have a lot of the ones that I'm done and doing another one. Do another interview tomorrow that will be edited uh, on the gold silver ratio from a coin dealer, bullion dealer's perspective. Um, what I'm hoping to do is to try to have those lined up for release while I'm going to be recovering from surgery. So, most I might set it up as a premiere, and just hang out on the computer while you all are watching with me and just go back to bed after the premieres left so I can get back to healing. So those are a lot of the plans I've got, especially for early to mid January. How about you? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow, lay low. I may do an intermediate thing again. I'm really pushing 164 subs to 7K. So I'm going to be really pushing the next couple of days to get that. My goal was 7K by New Year's. I'm really close. So I want to do something. Not sure exactly what. Something fun and engaging to get some additional subs, and then um, tomorrow, actually, we'll choose the first. Um, we'll do our live stream, and then I'm going to hang out and do some stuff with. Um, um, Tim, yes, send me your email address, and I'll send you a couple. Cool beans. Um, but I plan on doing a couple things with family on the second and the third, and then yeah, it's crazy. PSR 57, 59. It was 54. I think it was the lowest.
Lowest I saw was 55.
Freaking unreal. That's when I bought my platinum.
Yeah, I know you got really tickled about that. I can't wait to see you try to get that. Hopefully, get that more than try and get that platinum ship. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to coordinate. I'm trying to coordinate that because that that Greek trireme is it's a really cool ship. So I'd like to get that platinum piece.
Did
All
you
right.
reach out?
Well, time has
Did
done. I'm going to do the first winner.
Did you reach out to him and to let him know you're interested?
No, because I have to confirm that I'm able to do it.
Okay,
Oh my God, aspiring alchemist.
awesome.
Oh, outstanding.
Congratulations, AA.
So you guys send me an email, and this is the one for um, Namaste. Okay, so Namaste. You need to get with Vincent. Did I see your other comment? No. Was it a comment or was it a pick a backup winner too for a $1 gold back because I love Tiger too. Done. All right, so I've got to write these down. Jack Gallman, you get a gold back. Courtesies of the one and only Tiger Stacker. Kidding. Courtesies of Vincent. Come on, you were supposed to laugh, man. You didn't even say anything.
I I was smiling and chuckling.
All right, so let me double check these. So we got L, got mine, and then we have AA. Okay, and then we had Jack. And then we have, who's the other one? Namaste. Okay, so Namaste. You got to reach out to Vincent. I will, if you will send me an email, okay, exclamation point email. Send me an email with your information, okay, name, address, YouTube name. I will fire that over to Vincent. I'll do the same thing for Jack Gallman. You guys just email me. I will fire it over to Vincent, and then Vincent will send his off. For AA and L, two moderators extraordinaire, thank you so much for all your support.
Yes, they
That
are.
wasn't planned, by the way. That's absolute. I've got a couple packages for you, so I'll be sending those out. So I appreciate you too. Jonathan Tiger, don't ever put yourself down for what you've done and what you've accomplished medically. Nice.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it.
Very cool. Well, hey, Tiger, I am going to wrap stuff up. It's almost 2 o'clock. I need to get a couple hours sleep. I got some. Thanks for coming up.
Thanks for having me, even though you froze me in time. Here we go again.
Yeah, see, I can do this normally. We'll be talking and be like,
Yeah, he does that to me a lot.
I've gotten good at it. Party at Frosty's. Well, you guys, I want you to do me a favor. I just got another subscriber. We're at 6837. 7K's a big number for me. I've been doing this for 2.5 years, and your guys' support's been amazing. But what's amazing is if you watch videos and that's how it chips the algorithm to sending my stuff out to more. So do me a favor. Make sure you're smashing that like. I know it's really easy to get in, watch something, leave. You don't even remember you're doing it. But make sure you're smashing that like and share. Sharing is the best thing that you can do. Make sure that you are subscribing to Tiger's channel. Let's do it that way, Tiger's channel. Make sure that you are, it's either one. I need to change that, L. I'll make sure I do that. But again, it's about how many times can I subscribe? Thanks for
Thank you,
going in there.
Tim.
I will be on panel tomorrow night. He messaged me. I told him I'll come up. I know it's going to be 10, 15, 20-minute blocks. So hopefully, namaste, got your stuff. I will fire that over momentarily. Thank you so much for sending that. Folks, thanks for coming in, for hanging out. And again, if you missed the beginning of this, we talked about some of the things that you can do. We'll be digging into more of these to kind of talk about where the channel's going, what we're going to be doing, and then some of the collaborations between Tiger and myself. Go watch another video, go to sleep, go do whatever. I just ask that you do one thing. I want to see you guys in the streams. So during this holiday season, you drink real stuff, lose your keys. Uber, Lyft, all those are cheap compared to a DUI or losing your life or being in a situation where somebody else loses. So please take care of yourselves. Be smart, be wise. And if you drink, don't drive. Okay? There's always a wingman out. All right, folks. I love you guys. I really do appreciate you. Please send it out, share it out, and let's get to that 7K. All right, folks. Take care. We will see you.
Night, everyone.
And we're clear.